Times are difficult today. We are living in a hyper-polarized environment. Everyone is in their own camp, and it makes governing challenging. I was just having lunch with someone earlier, and I was telling them it's like every decision we make now seems to be political. People are personally invested in it. I think, for me, it's a reminder, though, that I'm still here to serve everybody, whether you voted for me or not. A prime example is not too long ago, there's a woman who has been criticizing me nonstop online on social media. And, she's complaining about potholes on her street and all. Come to find out, our team had been communicating with her husband for a while. And I said, look, we've got to go out. If they're having drainage issues, let's bring the drainage team out. If they're having road issues, let's take the road and bridge team out as well. We met around the kitchen table with her and her neighbors, and we got to work on the issues. She showed up at Commissioner's Court and thanked me for doing my job and, changing her mind about who I am, because she didn't know me. She had never met me. She made assumptions about me. She reiterated that I'm still a Democrat. She'll never vote for me, but she has a lot of respect for how I showed up. I'm going to continue to show up for people, and I think other leaders should be compelled to continue to show up for the people who they're elected to serve. There has been, let me just say this. We live in among the most diverse communities in the country. And finally, our leadership is starting to reflect that diversity. And there are a lot of folks who don't like that. There are a lot of folks who are actually angry with that because it is a threat to their power. And so we've seen, whether it's at the federal level, that's now trickled down to the state level, and it's right here on our doorstep now in Fort Bend County, where people are trying to turn back the hands of time and redistrict, change the rules of the game so that people of color cannot experience political success in our communities. Is something that I think is wrong. We're going through redistricting in Fort Bend County now that was based on a completely fraud premise that somehow our maps were in violation of the Voting Rights Act. I shared in our last Commissioner's Court evidence that was a lie, and that the people, the county judge and Commissioner Andy Myers, who were pushing that they knew that was a lie and yet persisted. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. It's something that I think we've got to fight against, because look, what I think we're seeing Republicans do now, they're seeing their numbers dwindle. They see that their policies are not popular. They know that people are waking up to the fact that they've been in charge of this state for 40 years, and it's just gotten more expensive to live here. It is, when you look at it, people like to compare us to California. In Texas, we pay more in taxes per person than they pay in California. And that's because of policies that are that are serving the billionaire and millionaire class and not our everyday working people. And so we're going to continue to fight for folks who drive our communities every day. Yeah. So a couple things that I'm very proud of in the time that I've been here. One, I am a father of two young girls. My daughter is actually three years old today, and my baby is 18 months old. I can remember what it was like those first few weeks of having kids, and knowing that I had the flexibility, because I left my job. I had the flexibility to spend time with my wife and my new baby. Not everyone gets that opportunity. So we were successful in getting paid parental leave passed for every county employee, and so that they get that time. We also have been focused on health and wellness, and so we launched an initiative that really has taken off called Fit Fort Bend, in partnership with a nonprofit called Fit Houston. And so getting people, particularly seniors, active and walking every day, creating community around healthy lifestyle has been really, really incredible. And again, I'm really proud that we're cementing history in the ground with the African American Heritage Monument. That is going to be a legacy that lives well beyond any of us being here. And it's an investment that I'm really proud that our community has supported. Well, I'll say first, in me representing such a diverse group of people, and that's not just ethnically, it's also socioeconomically. We have people, like I said before, who live well above, who are multimillionaires, but we also have people who live well below the poverty line. And so how we make sure that we're serving all those people is we have to be out on the ground with them. And so I have held over 30 plus, I've lost count, town hall meetings across the precinct since being in office, because it's like I can only do the job well in serving people if I know what they want me to do. And so we've held town hall meetings where I've gone to where people are so that I can get their feedback. And so that's helped me to be able to better represent and find consensus among my constituents. But with my colleagues, I try my hardest to find areas of common interest. I know that one of my colleagues, his only focus is on infrastructure, and where we can partner on infrastructure projects, we do that. I sit on the Industrial Development Committee with one of my Republican colleagues. I really have been passionate about trying to bring a countywide 311 system here. I found common interest with one of my other Republican colleagues, and we're working together to do that. Transportation or parks is really big for another one of my colleagues, and so I know if there's a parks-related thing that I really am navigating and having a hard time navigating, I go to one of my other colleagues who's been on this court for almost as long as I've been alive and is kind of the father of our park system. And so I try to find those opportunities to work with my colleagues and through that, building trust and building a relationship. They get to see my acumen, I get to understand theirs, because ultimately we have to serve everybody together, and all for what it's worth, all the other stuff, it's just distractions. I want my legacy to be that there were people who did not have access to the tools that they needed to determine their own level of success, and they got it. People who were able to, because all of this centers around access to information, access to financial resources. It's all about access. And those people who never knew that they have the access were able to find that because we went to them and we took it to them. I want there to be people who decide, hey, look, public service is a career option for me. I want to serve my neighbors, and I know I can do that because I watched him do it. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and I'm doing it, and I think I'm doing a halfway decent job.